Nick with Renowned Reptiles here. I'm here with Joel from State 48 Exotics, and I have the pleasure of coming out to Arizona. And I gave Joel a call, and he said, "Come on by."
This is a first. We've never had anybody here.
Nice. I feel very special.
Yeah,
very
never had
special.
anybody here.
So tell the people a little bit how you got started and what you're doing and where you're going.
Right. So Joel, obviously, and we're in the snake room, and this is all just a massive influx of an overbearing addiction to reptiles. I guess this is ridiculous. We're in a place in my house, that's just dedicated to reptiles. But I guess where it all started is just like everybody else's story. I just really liked snakes. I don't know why I liked them. Mom hated them. Worked out a little deal, negotiations that I could have a snake at my aunt's house.
Oh.
Had a snake over there. Then I worked her into having snakes in the garage.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, yeah.
Okay.
And then I moved out for college, and it didn't dawn on me for like a year and a half that I could have any animal I want now.
Huh.
And then so I went to Petco. I picked up a boa. They were selling boas that time. I don't even know if they sell boas anymore. Got a boa and found out about all this reptile stuff. Like found out YouTube, saw all these people, and then found out there was these reptile shows. So then I drove out. It was to Tucson, which is like an hour and a half from here. I went to my first reptile expo, and then since then it was just like I was hooked.
Yeah.
So I did that for a few years, and then I was doing a lot of racing at the time. I just felt like my animals weren't taken care of like I needed
Now,
to.
when you say racing, specify a little bit on that history.
Yeah, so I used to race dirt bikes. It was like that's like all I did. Like it was my job for all intents and purposes. I would say I was good enough to know that I would never make it. I was good enough to. I guess I always try to explain it because nobody really knows a whole lot about it. It's good enough to make maybe the practice squad on an NFL team.
Oh, there you go.
Still
a lot better than most consider.
I was better than most, but nowhere near better the ones that I needed to be.
Now, did you grow up here in Tempe, Arizona?
No, I grew up in a tiny little town up north called Kingman. If anybody's in Arizona and you've driven to Vegas, you have driven through the town because it's a gas station town.
Okay.
It's a small town. It's getting a lot bigger. But yeah, that's where I grew up, and I moved out here to go to college when I was graduated high school when I was 17. I had a late birthday. So I was out here when I was 18 basically. And then segue to a few years ago, I kind of took a step back from racing and stopped doing that, and I got hooked, and then this has just expanded since then. It's awesome. And what was nice though is being able to do that. I had like 3 years of breeding when I was younger, and then coming back in, I already kind of made all the mistakes early on.
Yeah.
So when I came back in, I started completely fresh.
Totally different mindset.
I picked my projects. I had plans for every single snake. There wasn't a snake that came in here that didn't do something for me this year and next year.
Wow.
It was I was super specific on my animals. And so that's I feel like helps so much.
Yeah, totally. What are some of your newest pickups that you're most excited about?
Yeah, so for 2018,
We'll pass that.
2019, yeah. So in 2018, I made some pickups for 2019. Let's say.
I'll take it.
I got them in 2019, but I had already purchased them in 2018. It was just a logistics issue.
Holidays.
Yeah,
Understood.
holidays. Yeah, but so I picked up a Hidden Gene Woma and a pastel lesser spot nose, and both of those are het puzzle. So super excited for puzzle, the whole puzzle program.
And those are females, right?
They're females, yeah.
Now, why did you get females?
Because I know I got best case, I have 2 years until that female's ready. That's probably not going to happen. Odds are it's going to take at least 3 years. So the way I'm doing it is much like we've already discussed in a lot of other videos. I'm taking that long-term plan with those females that, I got at least a year, I would say, depending on the snake, of solid growth before I really have to decide on a male.
Yes.
And so who knows what's going to be available 2021.
And at what price point?
At what price point? So what goes for maybe $3,500 now, that same snake might be worth $1,500. And it's not that the snake is any less value technically, but the marketplace has changed a little bit and there's more availability. So I could either get that snake then at a half the price, or I could maybe, if I was still at that moment, invest that $3,500 into double the male, let's say.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
So that's what's exciting, and by doing that, it keeps the projects cool too.
Yes.
Because it still keeps me searching.
And relevant.
And yeah, and I'm always thinking, what would be cool, and the possibilities are endless because I don't know yet. And that's what's really cool about these reptiles, is something to look forward to.
Yeah, and something's going to be done in between the time your female's growing up and you purchasing another male. There's going to be some other discovery within the genes since they're so new, Plasma specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Now, word on the street is you may have some double recessives in your collection, and some snakes that I have seen that are beyond beautiful and really changed the way I look at that certain color palette.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. It was. It's crazy. I did a double head clown pie. I have two double heads. That bred last year. One is a leopard yellow belly, and the other one's a fire. Female's a fire. Male's obviously the other one. I bred them together. I got 6 eggs. She was a first time mom, dude. She went 18 months. Like, I got her from hatchling up to breeding size before I got
18 months.
Dude, it was her second year.
Wow.
She put on. It was unreal. She ate like a boa constrictor. It was insane.
Pretty lucky.
She did go late though. She laid in July, so it was like the last clutch of the year for me. So it was she did run late, but
was that your first clutch?
That was my third that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you produced clutches a year before that?
No, so those were the first clutches.
Year breeding.
First year breeding as State 48.
2 double heads together.
Yes.
And got what?
And I got a fire clown pied, which I think was like a 1 in 64. Like, I don't even know what that is to get the, just to get the double recessives 1 in 16.
Right.
Then I think to get the codom on top, or the incomplete dom. I don't know what that is. That's arbitrary. I'm not a scientist.
Or is it a visual head?
Or is it visual head? I feel like it's visual head because there are super fires. So I don't know what that is on top of that. I think that's a 1 in 32 maybe. Yeah. So like just silly odds. And I got a fire, what I think is a leopard fire pied. And then I got a fire yellow belly clown.
Which is incredible.
Dude, yeah, it's like one of the prettiest snakes.
Has a ringer the size of the moon.
Yeah, if that pattern was any more wacky, I would say it's a clown pied. Like,
right.
It's so.
It's very Pompeii-esque.
Pompeii-esque, yeah. I think there's some serious hidden genes there into that Pompeii complex. Yellow belly and fire are involved, and clown, obviously. But
I agree.
They're for sure involved. And that's a male. The fire clown pied was a female. I got 3 other snakes out. I got a yellow belly and 2 fires. So not even I didn't hit a normal on head to head.
That's incredible for your 3rd clutch ever.
Yeah, and that
got a double recessive with the codon.
Yeah, only one in the world.
A nice pied version.
Yeah,
a nice clown version.
Yeah,
and no normals.
Yeah, it was last year was a dream. I didn't, and it's not that normals are bad, but I didn't hatch out any normals.
Wow.
I only had 3 clutches, so not a lot. But I had, again, not to like put any pressure on this, but we had 2 world's firsts last, in my first season.
Wow.
But that's just because of those years I spent
and your
breeding.
Smart purchases in the beginning.
Right, exactly.
So how many clutches do you anticipate next year, ballpark?
I have 8 females that are ready to go.
You could get 5 this year?
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm hoping for 5.
It's a fair estimate.
We'll see. I hope of those 5 are the 5 that I really want to go.
Now you're pushing it.
Yeah, I'm having some tough times with a particular male. I have that double head sunset pieds. I would, female's ready. Male's not getting it done yet.
Wow.
So
That Has anyone made a sunset pied that you know of?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who, I got them from Fred Kick, so I know he has them. Last I talked to him though, his female was only 1,000 grams. That was in Tinley, so that was a few months ago.
Okay. And that's Fred Kick from Kickballs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, great guy. Snakes are great, obviously.
Yeah.
So they were the only ones up for sale. As far as we knew at the time, he was the only one that had them. There's been a couple for sale on Morph Market since, but they've been babies.
Surprised you haven't seen any come out from Brock Wagner.
Yeah, so I talked to Brock Wagner at Tinley. And who knows what they're keeping close to their chest. Right. But they were pretty excited because they didn't know, they seemingly didn't know when they would see it. Mm-hmm. They were almost, I feel like, expecting I had the best chance to produce it first.
Wow.
But I don't know that, they have incredible animals, and why would they tell everybody what their projects are, Right. So who knows, we'll see. But double recessives are like, that's my plan. Like I don't think single recessives are good enough anymore. I don't think that, but I don't want to cap myself at a single recessive anymore.
The bar is very high.
The bar is high now. It's so high. All these animals are amazing, dude. And so I just don't want to settle, I guess. I want to be innovating, and I want to be moving forward, and I want to be doing stuff that's cool and unique that I really like.
Yeah.
And I think stacking recessives it's more rewarding because the odds are insane, and when you actually hit it, like, can't even tell you, hitting that fire clown pied, man, that was like the coolest moment my entire year.
You don't think that you used up all your good luck in 2018?
Yeah, so I'm worried about that all the time because when I was breeding back in the day, I had a spider albino, and I bred it to an albino. I got 2 albinos. The rest were I got 2 visual albinos and 2 spiders, and then the rest were normals out of 8 eggs.
Wow.
And I bred that same spider to a pastel. I got no bumblebees. Like, dude, I never hit odds ever. Like, I thought the game was rigged.
I'm looking for wood right now.
Yeah,
sorry, I
dude.
was looking for something.
Yeah, right, dude. Right here. Dude.
Here's a question. Would you rather buy a female that's a 66% het or a male that's a possible het like that?
Yeah.
Or do you think there's a benefit either way?
Yeah, I would say there's probably a benefit either way. It would just, as with anything, it depends. I guess that's my favorite answer since law school. It depends.
Thanks.
Yeah, so it depends. I think it depends on a couple things. I think it depends on if you're already in the project.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a puzzle.
Let's say you're one of a budget person, like someone like me that started out with no money,
right?
And just kind of bought, codoms or het females,
right?
And grew them up, And I'm buying some either pos het females, or I'm buying het females and a pos het male. What do you think is more advantageous, if anything?
I think the most advantageous way to do that efficiency-wise on money would be to buy 100% het males. This is a divergent from your question, but then breed that 100% het male to normal females, and not necessarily normals. They could be pastels. They could be whatever it is, and make your own possets, and then keep that 100% het pastel that and hold back all those snakes, and then breed that 100% het male to all the holdback females.
Okay.
Because he's 100% het, so he is going to prove out those pos hets, and I can guarantee one of those females out of a 6 to 8 clutch egg, or 6 to 8 egg clutch, dude, you're gonna hit a recessive.
Right.
I guarantee it.
So you're going with the 50-50 odds.
I mean, that's even 50-50. I think 50-50s are even worth it.
Wow.
Because of that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Cause dude, like, think of like the math on that. You breed that 100% male to 4 just non-recessive females. You get 8 eggs. You're probably gonna hold back 8 eggs each. You're probably gonna hold back at least, let's say, it's in half. You're gonna hold back 10 females.
Yeah.
And they're all a 50% chance. 5 of them should prove out statistically. And that costs you.
With your odds, it would all prove
right,
out.
right, yeah. And they would all cost you the price of a non-visual male.
Yeah.
Which are staggeringly cheap. You can get a non-visual het puzzle right now for probably $300.
Yeah. What would you tell somebody who's never been to one of the big reptile shows like Pomona or down in Florida or Tinley or the Arlington shows? It's one of these larger shows, and they've only been to their smaller local shows. Would you say it's worth them investing in the trip to travel out to one of these bigger shows?
It depends. Yeah, it depends on how invested you are.
If you're a new breeder and you're trying to
learn,
trying to
learn, trying to get this taken care of, it's a must.
100%.
It's 100% must. You have to go to these big shows. You have to go to these big shows for multiple reasons, but reason number one is, dude, these breeders, like big name breeders, they're there and they are willing to talk most of the time. We're in an era where you're not allowed to be a dick anymore.
Yeah.
You know, because it can be shown. It can be shown on social media. Look what we're doing. We're shooting a video right now. You know, it can be shown, and that I feel like that's like, you have to get to these shows to learn from the best. Right. And then on top of that, you have to get to these shows because you have to network. It's crucial to know people.
Oh wait, how did you and I meet?
Right, exactly. A big show. We went to Tinley. Yeah, we went to Tinley. I would have never met you if I didn't go to Tinley.
No, and I met Miguel 2 years ago before he was ever really getting that much exposure on the social media forums. I was there with Freedom Breeder and helped them set up their racks and break down.
Right.
And we all went out to dinner.
Right.
And this guy Miguel went with us, and there's like 15 of us anywhere. Some of the OGs were with us. I mean, obviously Lindy himself is an OG. But,
yeah, Lindy is an OG.
So this guy Miguel, out of nowhere, that I'd never met him before, pays for our whole dinner.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And everyone's like, "Nah, man, what are you doing? Like, you don't have to do that." And he's like, "No, I got it." And we went out and hung out some more that night, and went out and had a good time. And I've been in contact with Miguel ever since.
Yeah.
And that's how I met you. That's how I met Adam from Beach Bomb.
Yeah.
And now it's almost like our national sales meeting.
It
Just
is.
like I am here in Arizona right now for my national sales meeting for work.
It is.
It's our national sales meeting where we all get to meet up, we
yeah.
get to have a good time, but we also get really current and have really open conversations with many minds in the same room.
Right.
And kind of brainstorm on what everyone's doing. It's much different than texting or calling.
And everybody has a different level of experience, or they have a different experience with the same thing.
Right.
You know, we talked about something earlier today involving sheds and stubborn males.
And I just learned that.
Yeah, and Nick schooled me just now on something that I'm gonna try.
Yeah, and I think we should share it.
Okay.
And, so I was told, and I wish I remember who told me this because they deserve a lot of credit. But any males that I have trouble getting to breed, and there's other things that people say like pair up when it's raining, which I've seen is more effective too. Mm-hmm. Or I've heard crazy things like drive them around in a car.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, that's crazy.
One that I understand happens in the wild, but I would try to do that last, which would be put two males in together, and they kind of wrestle and push against each other. I don't want my males to have to get in a fight in order to get in order for me to get something I want them to do.
It's a gray area. Yeah, that's a gray area. Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But what I found out was that putting snake sheds in with them caused them to lock up. I had a male that never would lock up with anything. Whole last season would never lock, and he's a new gene I'm trying to prove out.
Right.
So it's super frustrating.
It is, yeah. But it's not just snake sheds, because I think it's pretty common that everybody knows about the snake shed thing. You're using female sheds and male sheds.
Okay, yeah. So
and that's what's different.
And I was just told snake sheds, but this is what I've tried because one snake shed of a different male didn't work.
Right.
It was just a non-competing male. He didn't have drive.
Right.
But what I did do was put 3 different male sheds and 3 different female sheds in there.
Right.
And I came and checked an hour later, and he was locked up for the first time in a year and a half.
Yeah, and see, that's crazy to me.
I mean, I jumped for joy.
Right.
Jumped for joy.
But you cross off the checks. Like, if that is a non-competing male and he doesn't care about it, why does it matter?
Right.
But you're putting a bag of sheds in there, different males, different females. There's all kinds of stuff.
One of those things he liked or did not like,
and
it caused him to breed.
Right. It could have been a shed from a different female that he liked.
Into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
And not one that I wanted to pair.
Right.
Right.
And so it's, I would have never thought of that. And that's, tracing back full circle is if we never met in Tinley, we would never had this conversation.
Right.
And potentially
slow down some very big projects.
Right. I have some pretty cool stuff in there that I really want to go this year, and I have 2 different males that, they're of size and they're just not getting it done.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm gonna try. Because I, like you, I don't really want to put 2 males together just yet.
Yeah. For sure.
So, we'll see. But yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, that's how I feel about the shows. They're pivotal. They're pivotal networking opportunities. They're pivotal for learning. At Pomona, Ozzy was walking around like a normal guy.
Right. I got to spend time with him. I
we
snake
are all,
shopping.
everyone's a
with
normal
boys.
guy. Like everyone's a normal guy. First of all, like this is a snake hobby. Like
right.
But for us, like that's a big deal. Ozzy's a legend. And he was walking around like a normal guy, talking to everybody. You could talk to him about anything. He would have told you right about it.
Took me snake shopping.
Yeah, took you snake shopping. That's crazy. So that's the kind of experiences you can get out of these shows.
Yeah. And these are all really people. They seem like these far off creatures in some land.
Right.
When you guys all meet up, everyone's pretty normal, and everyone's got lives, and everyone's got issues, and everyone's got things they're happy about, or things that are upcoming that are stressing them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I 100% agree with everything you said.
Yeah, they're good. If you're not that into it, maybe you can stick around your local shows. Because it's expensive to go to these bigger shows.
Or promote your local show.
Make
it bigger. We'll come out there. Miguel just started coming to SAC, and it's going to blow up. Watch.
I tell you what, my local show here, I got 3 females from, and one of which helped me produce, World's First this year.
Yeah.
Here at a local show. So.
I'm not knocking local shows whatsoever. I work local shows.
Yeah, they're the backbone of all of this. The big shows aren't the backbone for sure.
No,
they're a show.
Playoff, Super Bowl, whatever.
Yeah, local shows.
There's games that happen all the time.
Yeah, I go to every show. Like
anywhere I can.
I go to every show. I go to every local show here that is here, and then I travel.
Yeah. Totally.
It's worth it. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. Just in the people you meet. Indispensable friendships. And it's corny to say, but I speak to people I've met through snakes probably more than I speak to my longtime friends that I've known forever.
100% agree.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. It really is.
It's it's an addictive hobby.
It is. And then the shows become addictive.
Yeah. You anticipate those all year.
Right. Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to me, Joel. Thanks for inviting me over to your house. I feel blessed that I'm the first one.
Yeah.
If you want to see more talk like this and a much more high-level talk on ball pythons in the industry, go check out State 48 Exotics. We have a live interview with Beach Bum Exotics on that page, and a lot of good topics are covered in that video. Thanks for having me out, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much, dude. We gotta do, wait. We gotta do Big Dog. Big Dog.